Mike watches movies that are low on the charts. Adam picks the ones that inspire the arts. Ivy has a brand that has monsters, wolves, and dogs. And Vin tries to pick a movie that isn't a total slog. So don't watch these films unless you are guided. Join us for To Be Decided.
Hello, and welcome to another fine episode of Film Logic's To Be Decided. I am your host, Mike, and I'm with a gaggle of good movie watchers. Gaggle, are you there?
Yes.
What'd you call me?
Are we bringing Gaggle back?
We're bringing Gaggle back.
Nice.
It needs to stay wherever it was.
We are a murder of hosts.
Yes.
Oh,
a
I like
rumble,
that.
A quake.
Cool.
Well, be that as it may, we are a movie podcast. We watch Tubi, originals, Tubi B movies, corny movies, forgotten movies, and then we like to review them. And anyone who's worth their salt in movie watching knows that Tubi is absolutely free, so any one of you can watch these rare and B movie gems.
Yes. Because that's
And-
how you should spend your free time.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
If I was living on the streets with just a tablet and a little Wi-Fi, this is what I'd be doing. Well, this
Yeah.
is what I'm doing right now, and I'm not even living on the streets.
I have a full-time job and I'm still watching Tubi.
Right.
That's right. To be decided, folks. Reviewing the best that free can buy.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get what you paid for.
Which
Pretty
is
much.
nothing.
Yes. So I'm going to just introduce you guys because you guys are slow on the take for that. One of you is Adam. Adam, say hello.
Hello.
There's a Vin. Vin is here.
Hi.
And there's Ivy.
Hello.
All right. So the panel of judge is here.
Oh,
Adam, please tell us about this movie. It was your turn.
it was my turn. Yeah, I wish that I had a rhyme or a reason for picking Armed and Dangerous. But the first movie we picked, which I thought was a Tubi original, was not. Got removed from Tubi when we went to go watch it. Which is odd. So I was like flipping through, and I saw this wonderful cover of John Candy in what I can only describe as him in like an outfit that I assume he would wear in a movie like The Great Escape. On the front cover, it's like him in like an old timey motorcycle outfit and like a scarf.
Mm-hmm.
And it captured me immediately. But yeah, this movie is kind of a hidden I don't want to say gem. That's a little too generous, but
A
it's
hidden stone.
a hidden
Hidden pebble.
a hidden mineral of
In rock.
of like a lot of just random people that you would think would make it really really good, but it's not. Like it's directed by Mark Lester, who you guys probably know from such movies as Commando, and Showdown in Little Tokyo. But it was written by Harold Ramis, which is crazy. Who of course is in Ghostbusters and Caddyshack and Groundhog Day and stuff like that. Um, and I mean, we haven't even gotten into we haven't even gotten into the actors, but John Candy is in it, like we said. Eugene Levy is in it. Um, Robert Loggia is in it, who Academy Award winner. Um, Catherine McMillan, uh, or sorry, Kenneth McMillan, sorry. Meg Ryan is in it. Um, yeah, and like a lot of these people are kind of like they're not at their full famous height yet. You know what I mean? Like they're probably
Mhm.
like famous, but they're not like super famous. Um, but even like Jonathan Banks is in it, who you guys probably definitely know him as Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad. So yeah, so there's like there's a lot of people in it, and it's just like it's a very satisfying 90-minute 80s action comedy flick, and yeah, we'll get into it, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So, for those of you keeping score at home, this movie on IMDb rates at a 5.7, couched between our other two 80s movies, American Gothic and it's escaping me. I, I had it on the tablet.
Crossroads.
No, it's a 5.7 with it's coming the bane of society. Getting your notes. Let's see, Armed and Dangerous, American Gothic, and Love Bites. So it's in our it's in
Ah,
an it's in an
Uh,
80s sinkhole. Not quite the middle, not quite
I,
the top.
I feel like I feel like a 5 is kind of mean. I don't think it's a 5. I mean, I don't think it's a 7, but I don't think it's a 5.
I think a 5 is really generous.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, good. I love it when we're all over the map, and this seems like one we're going to be all over the map. And let's just cut right to the plot. Adam, do you have a plot synopsis for us?
Yeah. So, it opens on Jonathan Candy at his best. He's a cop, and he tries to save uh a cat that's stuck in a tree, and he has to get saved by the fire department because he gets stuck. And then cut a little bit later, he's on his beat. One of the really cool things about this movie is it is shot on location in LA. um so we see the sights and sounds of the 80s in LA, so you can imagine the cesspool that is. um and yeah, so he's on patrol. He sees something suspicious happening in an alley. He pulls up and he sees a couple of people robbing an electronics store, and it turns out there are two detectives. The two detectives frame John Candy. I don't really know what John Candy's name is in this. I'm just gonna call him John Candy because he just plays
Officer
himself.
Dooley.
No, it's Officer John Candy. uh
My bad.
and
of course it is.
so they flip the switch on him. They like put the TV is in his hands as the cops roll up, and they kind of frame him for it. And at his trial, he kind of gets like he's kicked off the force, and he's like let go from being a cop. And on his way out, he runs into Steve Levy, who is also just playing Steve Levy. Um, and he's a defense attorney who is not very good, and he's kind of like defending what is basically supposed to be a thinly veiled reference to your favorite psychopath in LA in the 80s and mine. The star of every thing from that time period, like Once Upon a Time in LA. Manson, and you know, with the the Charles Manson with the whole swastika on the forehead and everything. Who he's Steve Levy is defending him. Eugene Levy is defending him, and he threatens to kill him if he doesn't get off. So he desperately tries he desperately tries to convince the judge to let him off easy, or to at least drop the charges. The judge is like, "Hey, you're bad at this job. I'm gonna put him away for a long time, and you should stop being a lawyer." Cuts to Dooley and Kane. Uh, they decide to pick up jobs at a security guard company called Guard Dog Security, and they get there, and they're kind of onboarded all in one day. And part of their onboarding process is that they have to give up a bunch of money to be part of the union. And the usual hijinks of onboarding happens. They're at the gun range and they're firing, and Eugene Levy's bad at it, and they kind of become buddies, and then they're made partners by Meg Ryan, and they get assigned to night duty at a pharmaceutical warehouse. When they get there, this giant dude with the cross-eyed senior, he's their boss or whatever, manager or whatever on site, tells them to take a break. And while on their break, Steve Levy's, sorry, I keep calling him Steve, Eugene Levy, runs out to get his lunch, and he interrupts an armed robbery. And they basically a giant shootout happens. The cops come, et cetera. The next day, they are lucky. They're in the boss's office. They get told, "Hey, another mess up like that, you're gone," and they have to pay a fine of $100. So to protest it, they go to their union meeting, and they protest it. Everyone is kind of like on their side, except the board of trustees or whatever, and they're like, "You're a rabble rouser, get out of here." But they feel like something fishy is going on, because the union just keeps taking money from the other security guards, and they don't really say what they're gonna use it for. So let's see. I think I'm on track so far. I kind of forget what happens
They go to the garbage
after
dump.
the. Oh yeah,
and
they
the
get
toxic
sent.
dump.
They go.
Yeah.
They get. Yeah. They have to work at
They
a
get
landfill.
demoted to garbage dump duty and then demoted further to toxic waste dump duty.
Yeah,
Which,
not great.
no, less than ideal. 4 out of 10.
But while they're there, the guards that they're replacing say that something similar happened to them, where they were on guard duty, and they got robbed, and then they got kind of drifted out. They got sent out on this new dump duty, and so Dooley feels like there's something going afoot, and his cop instincts kick in, and they track down Bruno, um the guy, their manager guy, at the gym, and they interrogate him, and then Bruno admits that their boss had him order them to lunch the night of the robbery. So then Dooley, this is probably my favorite sequence in the entire movie. They go talk to an informant, and who's on the docks fishing, and John Candy picks up a fishing pole. They're talking to the informant, and he catches a shark. And instead of reeling it in, John Candy just shoots it like 3 times with his service revolver, which is wild. And then they bring all their findings to Meg Ryan, who is, we should also mention, is the boss's daughter. She kind of rejects them for having no evidence. So the next step in their investigation, Julie and Kane attend like this party put on by one of the owners, and when they're eavesdropping on the owner at the thing, they find out that um, they were using the union money to actually finance a drug deal with some drug cartels, and that they're going to move the money the next day in an armored car with insurance covering the loss of money. Um, a gunfight ensues. Julian Kane attempt to save a person that was taken hostage, um, and in the process of that shootout, the cops chase them, and they kind of make their way into downtown LA, and let's see, and they evade police the next morning. Oh, they also go to this like porno shop. Who knows? But we get to see double cheeked up Eugene Levy just in a full like leather outfit, which is really great. And then John Candy, who I assume just showed up to set with an outfit. Imagine like Darla from uh the what's that kid show called? Kids movie. Uh with Alfalfa. Dang it.
Little Rascals.
Little
Little
Rascals.
Rascal.
Looking like Darla from Little
Not
Rascals.
not RuPaul.
Hey, don't disrespect RuPaul like that.
Yes.
Oof, how dare.
uh so then they get all the evidence that they need. They talk with Meg Ryan's character, and they decide they're gonna stop this robbery from happening. Um so they kind of they secretly steal the armored car, and Dooley plans to cut them off and catch all the bad guys in the act. Dooley has problems with his motorcycles, trying to like get through to to rescue everybody. So he like gets in this truck with like that's hauling rocket fuel, and they cause tens of millions of dollars in product damage in civilian car, various just loss of life damage. Um,
Somebody
and
had to get injured in that truck
Yeah.
mowing down the car.
yeah, there's no way. They arrive just in time to save everyone, and the end of the movie is wrapped up very nicely in a bow. The cops come, they catch all the bad guys, and John Candy and Eugene Levy are hired on as police officers again, and that's the end of the movie. A nice tight 88 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. It still doesn't really explain why John Candy had to dress up like a dirigible pilot and ride a motorcycle that looked like it was rescued from the Korean War. But, you know, uh,
The trailer is very proud of that fact, and like it highlights that that's like what you're getting if you see this movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like like the director just really wanted to nail it. That
Mm.
he's going to dress like a World War I pilot somewhere in
He's
this movie.
he's gonna get on this his South One camel, and he's gonna fight the Red Baron.
Yeah. John Candy is Snoopy.
So like let's address the elephant in the room.
Hey,
This
he has a name,
quite rude.
John
yeah.
Candy.
Now,
Rude.
so let's address the fact that this is in the shadow of Beverly Hills Cop, and it
Hmm.
is trying to earn the dollar that Beverly Hills Cop earned, which came out in 1984. This came out in 1986. Um, they were hoping for that crowd and that success,
Mm.
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's up to us to decide if they nailed it as well as Beverly Hills Cop.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, inevitably this happens in cinema. For every Armageddon, there's a deep impact. And I'm sure that there are a bunch of other examples that may come to mind. That's just the first one that comes into my head whenever I think about, this iconic film that was made about that had a particular plot line, and then, oh wait, 2 or 3 years later another movie did the same thing, sort of, kind
Yeah.
of.
We also can't forget that this is Police Academy
Oh yeah.
as
Of
well.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
Yeah,
Like they
we
saw
are.
some things that had been doing well at the box office,
Yeah.
and they sat down and wrote this.
They're like,
This
who do
was
we need for
probably
this?
wedged between Police Academy 2 and 3. Or 3 and
Yeah.
4. I can't tell. There were so many.
Yeah. So this movie is like living in its shadow, and I feel like it's one of those ones that, like, you have like this youth pastor, and he's like, oh my gosh, I remember Armed and Dangerous when I was a kid. I got to show my youth group this. It's hilarious. And then he shows it to the youth group, and he's appalled because he doesn't remember half the stuff that's in it, and then apologizes, and then he has to go before the board of trustees and explain his actions. That's what this
Yeah,
kind
I
of movie
wasn't
is.
sure who this was aimed towards because I don't recall, like, there's no, like violence, there's no like strong language. There's just like occasionally like you almost just fully see boobs. And it's like, is this like for kids? Is this
Yeah.
for adults?
Yeah.
Like, what is the target
Well,
audience?
well, yeah, and then there's, the brief glimpse of Eugene Levy's, cheeks and buttless chaps. So,
Derriere.
Yeah.
yeah,
Worth the
Well-
price of admission alone.
take that for what it's worth.
None of you had that on your bingo board for today. See Eugene
Yeah.
Levy's butt. But I
Nope.
did. And I had bingo.
Oh, that's what you got, bingo. That's weird.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
so
funny.
this movie, Ivy, you're absolutely right. It doesn't want to show you blood. It doesn't want to drop a bunch of F-bombs. It just wants to show you prostitutes and porno shops to earn its rating. It's like it's marketed for gooners.
Pretty much.
I didn't even look at the rating. What was it rated? Was it just
I don't
PG?
know. I feel like
I
it
think
was
it's PG.
PG.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
before-
crazy.
Google
it's
says
1980s
it's
PG.
PG-13.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Which is
PG-13 was out
interesting.
yet in '86.
This must have been after Temple of Doom, because
Hmm.
that was like the flashpoint where Hollywood said, okay, there has to be a line. Nothing, like, we can't be this violent and give a movie a PG rating. And
Right.
but it's not like it's a complete bloodbath. So
Yeah, it's not Airplane.
right. Which I would argue is the superior slapstick film in
Mhm.
Well,
in this
I was just saying
case.
that there's full frontal in that, isn't there? They say the F word.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's PG.
Yeah. Well, I believe I counted one F-bomb in this. I think it was during the paperwork scene where the union reps came in, did their spiel and stuff. Just sign the effing paperwork.
Wild.
Oh, you're
And-
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, this
If there's one thing that sticks in my brain, it swears.
the one F-bomb in every PG-13 movie. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It's a gift.
And a curse.
Yeah,
So-
the F word.
So You mentioned slapstick. This is slapstick, and most of the one-liners are from Eugene. I have to say that his comedy is my brand. My
Mhm.
favorite line being when the judge says, like, "You're the worst lawyer I've ever seen," and then he says, "Well, then I call for a mistrial."
He's
Like
always
that's
been witty.
yeah, that kind of wit.
Hmm.
And I've never seen him that young and like handsome before. Like I've always known him
Yeah.
as old Eugene Levy, someone's dad.
Yeah, but
Jason
we'd
Biggs'
recognize
dad.
those eyebrows anywhere.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice to know that he was young once and funny.
Hmm.
I mean, I still think he's funny now.
Ah,
What
I
do you
don't know.
mean?
Have
Have
you
you
seen
have you,
his?
have you seen Schitt's Creek?
No, I've seen his Medea movie.
Oh,
He's
well,
in a
He's not very
Medea
funny in
movie.
Medea.
well, Schitt's Creek is very good, and he is very funny in it.
Yeah.
Ah,
And of course, the American Pie movies.
A classic, a classic.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's wild. Um, yeah, it is funny. It is funny to see. It is funny to see him in this movie, and I do, and maybe we're getting too into what we like later, but I do feel like the chemistry between Levy and John Candy are definitely carry the movie.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I do wish that they, I'm sure a lot of every movie that she's in could always use more Meg Ryan, but I felt like the movie could have used more Meg Ryan.
Yeah, or at least given her something funny to do or say,
Yeah.
because she's just kind of there.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe this was before she found her voice or her presence in cinema, before she knew that she was destined for rom-coms and
yeah, because like when
stuff like
Harry Met
that.
Sally was 89, 90,
Mm.
Mm.
and like Top Gun 80.
That was 84. But she had a pretty small role in that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it
She was
was
in that
barely
for like
more than a
10
walk-on
seconds.
role.
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe this is like her. Do you think this is her first movie? I don't know what her first movie would have been. Meg Ryan.
Mm. This is the earliest Meg Ryan movie that comes to my mind, and what a weird time, like to be paired in a movie opposite John Candy. That's like
Right.
two eras of cinema, like meeting at one point where it's not the kind of thing you see often, but when you do, it's just wow, that happened.
yeah. Now, this isn't Eugene's only buddy cop movie. He was in a movie with Samuel L. Jackson called The Man, where he kind of
Oh,
plays the
that's
same
right.
character. He plays the goofy but timid action hero, while Samuel L. Jackson, plays Samuel L. Jackson. And that movie
Oh,
didn't
of
do so well
course.
either. That got a 5.5, 2 points lower than this movie. So
I don't think we should be arguing the semantics of a point two movie difference of The Man and Armed and Dangerous.
Yeah, I still
It's
think
yeah.
a 5 is. I feel like a 5 is mean. Like I don't think
I,
it's like like I don't. We can get into it later, but
Adam, you said that there's chemistry in this
mm,
movie and they carried it. I thought the connection between the two, besides witty bantering, was weak. I mean, all they had was witty bantering and not really like a friendship or a connection or ride together,
Yeah.
mm,
die together,
sure,
which is what you usually look forward to in these cop movies. But it's just
right.
these kind of guys just rib each other through the whole thing.
Mm.
But see, it's not a cop movie. It's a rent a cop movie.
Security
I mean,
guard
Security
movie.
guard movie.
this is good. I mean, that sequence of them in the sauna,
Mhm.
um, and they're like, when you just see Levy like freaking out, and then John Candy just kind of manhandles him. I mean, I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm looking too favorably on it. Look, I'm not saying that this movie is an 8 out of 10, but I think a 5 is mean. Like I think like if I were to give this movie a score, I would give it a flat 6.
All right.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Well, you're 0.3 off from IMDb, so not horrible.
Because I just feel like 5 feels like this movie, and I guess maybe it is. Maybe I need to review my judging system, but I feel like 5 is a movie that like just is barely a movie, and there's nothing that I love or hate about it. It's just like there.
Right.
And like 6, I feel like I at least chuckled a couple times and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um, I do
Well,
think.
Love
Go
Bite
ahead.
made us laugh, and that got a 5.4 on IMDb. So IMDb is a cruel mistress, as we all know.
Oh man,
Mhm.
And
yeah,
yeah,
maybe I don't know. I love bites. I think I'd give it. I'd rate it higher. Um,
mhm.
but I do feel like this is really Love Bites was that low. I feel like Love
Yeah,
Bites was really good. Um,
right. Well, we're talking
Mhm.
about IMDb. Love on a Leash, 7.8.
yeah, like
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd give it like into the sevens.
yeah. Well,
Mm.
that's what Cash Storm. Cash Storm stole at 7.
See, I feel like
And
Cash Storm. See, Cash Storm to me is a 5. Like that.
Yeah.
Cash Storm is a 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, we've already gone over those cases. Like the director was clearly stuffing the ballot box, just raiding the
Yeah.
reviews page and just review
hold
bombing the whole thing.
hold on though. There's an update. Cash Storm has moved to 6.7.
Mm,
The light of reality is hitting.
justice
People,
will be
yeah,
served.
What
justice
The
is
tide is
happening.
shifting.
is Razzie award-winning movie War of the Worlds? What is that rated?
That has to be in the low twos.
That's a 2.5.
Yeah, at most.
2.5. Yep.
Mm,
I wonder
wow.
how
Yeah.
much Don't Mess with Grandma is.
It's still 7.
See, Don't Mess with Grandma on IMDb is a 5.5. So are we
Wow,
saying
it
that?
dropped 2 points.
So are we saying
Okay.
that? Are we saying that does Don't Mess with Grandma is on par? I guess I just have a knack for picking action comedy movies that are 5.5.
You're drawn to
Well,
it psychically.
Yeah.
that's the tricky thing about IMDb is the score can change. It was 7, and then some haters came on and dropped it to a 5. And I feel like
Yeah.
you only go to IMDb when you hate something.
Mm.
Real people go to Metacritic. Everyone else goes to
Or
IMDb
Letterboxd.
or Letterbox.
Um
Yeah.
Mm.
um
Well,
yeah.
let's check in here with the powers that be at Wikipedia and see their budget for the film was $12 million, and the box
That's 80s
office.
dollars.
Yeah, yeah. Well, unfortunately, at the box office, they just barely missed out on the 16 mil mark. So
Oh, they got 4
they,
million back.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um
Adam, this got
mm,
a 17 as its Metascore. So,
Again, I just feel like that's mean. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like I don't know that because like you watch War of the Worlds and you're like this is just bad. Like nobody that is a part of this movie enjoyed that they were part of this movie.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I don't think that everyone super loved shooting Armed and Dangerous. Like I don't think anyone got a
Mhm.
cast tattoo or anything. But they all seemed like they were having a decent time on camera.
Right.
Well, I think I agree with Los Angeles Times, who gave it the highest score. The first 15 minutes had some funny bits, and that's where I was on board. But it's kind of a whoopee cushion nightmare after that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
would say, yeah, the jokes
I
kind of
agree
fall
with
flat after the 15 minutes.
yeah.
for sure. Um,
Like, are they trying to go for scary movie type stuff, getting the shark out and then shooting it in the head? Or are they trying to go for, are they
uh,
trying to go for Beverly Hills Cop or Beverly Hills Ninja? And I feel like they went to Beverly Hills Ninja more than Cop.
well, I mean, you didn't like Eugene Levy being beaten up by three buff women at a gym,
Well, no, I live for those moments. I need those moments in my life. But was it enough?
Hmm.
Those
Also,
those women were jacked, by the way. My
very
goodness,
jacked, very
they knew
jacked.
how to cast buff women.
They sure
I
did,
was I was trying to figure out which one was the American Gladiator, uh,
right?
which I don't believe that there actually was an American Gladiator in there, but yeah, you get the idea. They were clearly going for a vibe in that scene, especially.
And
Right.
that's kind of where I struggled with the humors, because what what's supposed to make me laugh? Is it that the women are strong and want to beat up Eugene? I guess that's kind of funny, but it's not like ha ha funny to me. And I feel like there was a lot of moments in this movie where they're like, "You see, what we did was silly," but it's not like I want to laugh at it silly.
Right.
Mm,
I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
the jokes and gags could be really funny if it were executed a little differently. I think that like the editing and the directing has a lot to do with how like a joke comes off.
mm.
And I feel like they were just doing things on camera and not really like setting up a good joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the whoopee cushion setup. I mean, when you go to plan a joke involving a whoopee cushion, there's no setup really other than blow up the whoopee cushion, find appropriate seat, wait for victim to sit upon said seat, and yeah,
Yeah.
insert funny haha. And that's what I think there were a few too many moments of just the forced funny haha kind of scenes
Hmm.
in this, especially between like the steam room and hiding out in the porno hut and just the traffic jam at the end. It's I feel like John Candy had to carry a lot with this.
Yeah.
They were expecting him to carry a lot in
It's
this
based
movie.
on his name and his career. Um, they were they were trying they thought they hit a home run because they picked a really good 80s comedian. They picked Uncle
Hmm.
Buck, but did they get
Yeah.
Uncle Buck for their investment?
Mm. I mean, I
No.
don't. Yeah. No, no, no. But I mean, come on, you got you gotta have laughed a little bit when they're in the porno and they put in the 25 cents for the peep show, and Eugene Levy says, "Ah, see a doctor." Come on, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, them fighting over the quarter is what annoyed me. It's like, guys, you played it, and that poor woman, she's never going to be a good actress because this is on her resume now. Uh, By the way, Ivy, I'm sorry how women are portrayed in this movie. Were you offended that like 80% of them were either like prostitutes, while the
I mean,
20% that were worthy were like bodybuilders and Meg Ryan?
I feel like that was, at least for me, slightly less noticeable than it seemed to me the fact that like every person of color in the movie was a joke and like trying to foil them and acting like an idiot the whole time. That stood out to me even more. So
You know, I didn't notice that, but now that you bring it up, now I can see it. What I really liked is like the group that like trained with John Candy. I thought they were a riot. They needed more spotlight on them. You had
right.
the guy who kept asking, "Can I shoot someone if I'm really angry at them?" And like I wanted to see them run with that. I wanted to see the
Yeah.
tall guy who's like super dumb, doesn't know his left from his right hand. Um,
Well,
like
I feel like they could have played into that as like later in the movie when they're like trying to catch the thieves and everything. They could have been like, "Hey, we need a bigger crew," and then they bring back everyone from the training academy
Right.
right.
and they have to work together. That could have been funny.
They almost had like a comedy crew, but I think they were like, no, John Candy and Eugene have to take the center stage.
Yeah.
Right. And like John Candy doesn't even really do anything at the end. You know what I mean? He
He
just
pulls up late.
yeah, gets all the credit and gives the guy a gun. That's illegal in
Yeah.
every state for some reason.
And I'm I get really angry at these cop movies because there's no way any judge would let off John and Eugene. They they've killed too many people. They're too wanted. There's not enough uh, testimonies that could save their life, and for them to get their job back instantly and not the electric chair, it just boggles my mind. But that's like how you do comedy police movies. Like the hero, like after he's killed several people, he gets like an aw shucks, and then he gets his job back.
Well, you
And,
saved the city.
yep,
Yeah. And
a
I think
city they
that's
didn't even know was in danger, so they would have to explain. Oh yeah, there was corruption going on, and it was really bad. Take our word for it.
yeah, and I think that was something else too. I didn't really get the feeling that John Candy really wanted his job back as much as
Right.
right. Like I don't think I don't recall a time of him being like, I want to get revenge, or I want to, I really want to nail these guys. I want to get my job back. He was just kind of like, man, he's just kind of like there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and I do wonder, going back to um your point there about just like a lot of undeveloped points. This movie feels like um maybe some stuff got left on the cutting room floor. Um, it just felt like there was plot developments that should have happened, or
yep,
something like that. Um, yeah, it just felt like uh, yeah, it just felt like there was a little bit more it had to give
yeah. Meg
to be a
Ryan,
complete movie.
because like in one scene, Meg Ryan is like, how dare you you accuse my dad of corruption, and then the next scene, she's like, "Dad, did you do this?" And then, and he's like, "No." And then the third scene, she's like, I want to uncover this. I want to, take down everyone. It's like, okay, we didn't see the part where you were convinced that something's wrong here. So either
Right.
Right.
that the deleted scene or they just didn't care about that.
I was also confused because unless I missed some backstory, like from the minute they go to the academy, she like talks to them like she knows them, and she's
Yeah.
like teasing them and being like, "I want to put you with him because whatever." And it's like, you don't know each other, do you? Like, they have this like close like friendship, and
Yeah.
it's like they just like barely saw her teach them how to shoot a gun.
Yeah.
Right.
She can smell the plot armor on them.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the power of a young Eugene Levy.
What, plot riz?
Exactly.
That he's going to be showing some cheeks later. That's what won her over.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
can someone?
John Candy poking him in the butt while he's looking on the map. Come on, that's funny. That's
That's
funny.
I and I totally believe you, Adam. That like this is what they were banking on. This was the golden goose. Is Eugene's butt and John Candy's uh, desire to slap it.
Or like, or like when they're walking through the park in their outfits, and that one male jogger is running with his wife, and then he stops to turn and stare at Steve Levy's butt. Come on, that's funny. That's great
Yes.
storytelling.
I will say the funniest interaction, like the part where both of them like earn their paycheck, is when they're pretending that like they're in like the leather daddy outfit in the RuPaul outfit, and they go up to the cops and they're kind of playing off each other like, oh, you're such a bad boy, and
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I could never get a face like that. Like them playing off each other like that and pretending like they're like these queens was hilarious.
Mhm.
Good
And
stuff.
that's what I wanted to see more of, like that kind
Mm.
of the use of their voice, the use of their character. I didn't
Mm.
want to just see guys very concerned about their job and a little intimidated by it. Well, can someone explain to me the plot? Like, okay, so I get that they
No.
wanted to take, like, the bad guys wanted to take the pension and steal it and give it to Columbia for reasons. Um,
Well,
but like, what does that have to do
drugs.
with stealing TVs? Why were the cops stealing TVs, and why was that pivotal to the plot?
Well,
Were they selling the
LA.
TVs for more
Am I
money
right?
to go to Columbia?
They were
No,
working with the mob boss.
To do what?
who the dirty cops in the
Yeah, yeah,
beginning?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Why did the mob boss want the TVs?
They didn't. He was just stealing them. I
Well,
don't know.
apparent like
They
was it
bad guy
a
do
hobby?
crime.
Yeah, was it a hobby they do on the side and that had nothing to do with the main plot and
I don't know. Bad guy
just
do
viewing it
crime.
gets you in trouble?
Yeah.
That did
Exact.
crack me up really bad though, because it was such a like they get so defensive when John Candy tries to like, arrest them or whatever, and then the cops show up and they like pull a gun on him and it's all dramatic over two TVs.
Okay, well,
I
guys,
found
you
that
have
very
to
funny.
Yeah.
just try to use your imagination and superimpose over those two CRTs, maybe like a 70-inch Samsung smart TV or maybe an iPhone or something. Just yeah, that was the stakes back in it was
Yeah.
86.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean
You
the
couldn't
original
you couldn't beat a solid Zenith TV back in 86.
well the original Fast and Furious they were stealing like DVD TV
DVD players.
combos that were like 12
Yeah.
inch, and that was considered the big score.
Gotta steal
It
the
is a big
Blu-ray
score.
players.
Do you know how much they go for on eBay?
I know. Yeah, they were working with retro gamers. Uh,
I know what I got. Don't lowball me.
yes.
But
So
yeah, I mean, again, I do think that the plot is like I 100% I'm with everyone. The plot is nonsensical. and it literally is just a device for John Candy and Eugene Levy to just run amok in LA.
Yeah. And,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
you know, I hate to be nitpicky about this masterpiece, but if you know you're
Whoa.
going to get assassinated by a rocket at this point, they're still going to drive there knowing that there's like an assassination and hoping that John Candy just interferes at the right time. Just drive to a different place. That screws up the bad guy's plot. They're going to, Portland. Man, we really screwed up.
Right.
Just put your
Well,
life in John Candy's hands.
well, see, that would make too much sense. And
Yeah.
as we're all aware that, in all of these 80s movies, everything magically gets tied up in a bow and resolved in the last 10 minutes. Because as we all know, Deus Ex Machina is Latin for 80s movie ending.
From the machine, John Candy.
Yeah.
John Candy finds
Candy Ex Machina.
Candy Ex Machina.
Yeah. And okay, one more nitpick, and then we can go to something totally different. Eugene has this idea to dress up as the cross dressers and the leather guy, right? So he calls
Yeah.
he calls over the one guy that's been hitting on him inside this adult shop. And how does he know that the guy's going to bring over his friend that has the exact clothing specs of John Candy? I think there's a hidden psychic mind reading aspect of this movie that would make the plot make more sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm
That
looking
is
too
a
much
fair
into
point.
this.
That is a fair point. How would Kane know that the spicy boy he was flirting with had a friend, had a queen who happened to share the same dress size as John Candy. That's that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly.
that's a valid observation.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably all got to do with, the hive mind of 80s comedies where, just the right person shows up at just the right time. Oh, so
That's
conveniently.
the serendipity of it all.
Hmm.
Well, that's my soapbox. Now we can talk about the positives of this movie. It was pretty funny.
It was kind
Funny
of funny in
haha.
the beginning.
Yes. Yeah. Also,
Very funny.
Larry Flash Jenkins, I think he was the like the strong black like head boss of the warehouse. I'm like, if
Bruno.
this was
Yeah.
if this was redone, this would definitely go to Terry Crews.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was getting
yeah.
Cherry Crews vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definite. That would definitely be Terry Crews. Yeah.
And I
But
wanted
I
it to
don't think
be,
this movie is going to be remade anytime soon.
it begs the question, who could do this film? Like, cuz I could see Netflix getting the rights to this. With the help
If
of
we're
Adam
being
Sandler's
honest, man,
writing.
Netflix can get the rights to anything.
Yeah.
Netflix can get the rights to your freaking home movies from when you were 6 if they wanted to.
Yes.
You know what? I think that they keep the cast the same. Obviously, the people rest in peace that aren't there. But I think you keep Eugene, but I think instead you um because correct me if I'm wrong, is Meg Ryan still with us? I don't think she is she?
Yeah, she is.
She
Yeah.
is? Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Keep
She's
Meg
dead.
Ryan.
That's news to me.
Okay, perfect. Keep keep her in the movie. But John Candy pass along. Don't even address it. Just Eugene Levy and he, and make it a buddy cop with his son.
it's like a legacy
Right.
sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Or hear me
uh,
out. With American Pie connected to Eugene, you get Jason Biggs and who's his co Sean William Scott as the co-buddies working together
mm,
under Police Chief Eugene. It writes itself, written by Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. If it was like 10 years ago, it would definitely be like Kevin James and Ben Stiller and Kristen Wiig.
Yep.
I mean, we do have spiritual sequels these days, like, of course, Paul Blart comes to mind,
Yes.
and then Observe and Report, the Seth Rogen movie about mall rent-a-cops.
Even 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
kind of has the same spirit of humor.
Mm.
Yeah, man, that really makes me want to watch 21 Jump Street now.
Incredible.
Yeah. The last scene, we'll just talk about the last scene with the cow. So, John Candy, he gets in a truck with this wild cowboy who, does property destruction and loss of life to get to the assassination attempt. The missile hits it, and there's so many explosions. I feel like someone like tapped the director on the shoulders, like, these movies have to have explosions, right? Like, this is the 80s, you need explosions. And he's like, we only have one scene left. Okay, put it there. And there was so many explosions in that
Yeah.
truck, and they milked that to death.
It's like a contractual obligation.
The director was saying, great, we forgot the explosions, and all we have to work with is this 18-wheeler full of rocket fuel. What are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah. Also, rocket fuel doesn't just explode. Not like that.
Yeah, but it's rocket fuel. It sounds awesome. So,
And, let's get Mythbusters to look at this scene and see if John Candy would survive a rocket to a Mack truck. I would
I don't
love
think
to
you
see
need
these
super.
results.
I don't think you'd need Mythbusters. He'd be super dead. But thankfully, he had enough plot armor for himself and the driver to
Yeah.
keep them safe.
Yeah. They were thinking sequel,
Yeah, the rocket
Armed and
fuel
Dangerous 2.
explosion. It would have Timothy Chalamet.
If we're lucky.
A young Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet. All right. Well, should we land this plane? Do we got a game to play before we land it?
I've
Yeah,
gotten my
I
rage out, so you
actually-
guys can go.
Yeah, so I was watching this and I was thinking, this is a, in my opinion, but we'll get to that in a minute, a kind of decent comedy, not hilarious.
No.
So I'm like, in
Mhm.
86, what were audiences thinking of this? Were they also kind of like, or were they like rolling in the aisles at the take your break at 11:30 scene? So I found a website. I don't know how accurate this is, but it's called Cinema Score, and they claim to have like a grade based on reactions from audiences on opening nights of films that they ask. So I think their rating goes from like A+ to C-. I think that's the length of the scale. So do you want to guess what Armed and Dangerous has?
I feel like they're gonna overcompensate and be like 4.8.
I think F+.
That would make sense. It is sitting at a B-.
Oh,
I was actually gonna say B or B-.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
curious how that stacked up because 86 was kind of a big year for other like comedies and fun movies. So we're going to play a
yeah.
game of where do these other 1986 comedy and family movies stand from audiences back in the day, apparently, compared to Armed and Dangerous.
Mm.
So B-. Next we have one of probably my top 15 or 20 favorite movies, one of my favorite comedies, Three Amigos.
Hmm.
You think it's
Oh.
rated higher or lower than Armed and Dangerous?
I'm gonna say A+. Like people were cheering, hooting, and hollering at the opening of that movie.
I don't know. I think it's looked back on more favorably than it was.
Right.
I'm gonna say like a C. Like I don't even think I don't think it's. I think it's funny. I don't know if it's that funny.
Oh boy.
I think there's a funnier movie that came out this year.
I'd be giving it a C+.
Okay. Apparently it is a B, just a straight B.
Oh.
Oh.
See, I would give Armed and Dangerous like a D+, and I would give this movie like a solid C. Or like I would give Three Amigos a C. Like that's where that's
Yeah.
where my scaling would be. You know what I mean? And then something like I don't even know. Like Little Shop of Horrors would be like an A. You know?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's one that I didn't search up on here.
Or like,
I'm biased because I watch Three Amigos like 3 times a week, so.
No, well, to be fair, this was before, Chevy Chase was outed as a disgusting human being. So
yeah,
that's
or
probably
like,
what's skewing our, our
that is
scores.
that is true. I do find it
Wait a
hard to
minute.
laugh at Chevy Chase now.
I thought he
Yeah.
was just a horrible person in Community.
No, he's pretty much Chevy Chase in
Yeah.
Became
Community.
life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
he wasn't even all that great when he was on SNL either.
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors got A-. FYI.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Spoilers?
People must have been singing that in the aisles or something.
People were happy.
I mean, Little Shop of Horrors is like, come on. Rick Moranis. Steve Martin is also in it. Come on, Belushi. Guys, come on. Little Shop of Horrors.
It's iconic.
That's so good. Anyways, what are some of the other movies?
We have The Money Pit, which is basically
The Money
a
Pit.
remake of Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Never saw the one that you mentioned, but I did see at least some of The Money Pit.
Who's in this?
Yeah, Tom
I think
Hanks.
it's Tom Hanks, yeah.
Oh, immediate D.
You're not too
Oh,
far
that's
off.
because you've got Mazes and Monsters tainting your metrics.
And
No.
Forrest Gump.
That was
Forrest
Pete
Gump.
we're talking about.
Oh, but this is like right after Big, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money Pit. I feel like this is just generically fine Like
Yeah.
C plus.
Actually, you are
Um,
right on the dot. It is C plus.
Oh wow,
Oh,
wow,
So, wait, so
good call.
Ivy, are they
Yes.
like going into theaters on opening night with like a laugh-o-meter or a gasp-o-meter and just recording it and seeing where the line goes up to? Like
Yeah.
how do you know?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know how what
obviously,
their
because
grading system is.
I mean, I bet
wait,
it was like
this
a test audience, and then they like had them fill out like a thing.
Yeah.
no, it was definitely the laugh-o-meter. I mean, the technology I think was pioneered by Johnny Carson. So
Yes. They're like,
Oh my
that
god.
gasp was a 7.8 when Jaws came out, upping the
Mhm.
score to B.
Did you say Jaws, one of the greatest movies ever made, is a 7.8?
No, actually,
Wild.
don't look at the Jaws. Well, that's Jaws the Revenge. Now you got me hooked on this site. Jaws the Revenge got C minus, so people were like falling asleep in the theater.
they've
But
got to
also,
look.
like,
No.
yeah, like if that site has like Jaws anything less than an A plus plus, I don't know if I could trust this. I don't know if I could trust this website.
Where are we? Where are we looking at?
Yeah, what is this?
Cinema score.
Cinema
Dot
score.
com. They've been around since
Oh.
1978, so that was before Jaws came out, which is why they don't have the original Jaws. They only have Jaws the Revenge.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay, makes sense. Okay, what are
Oh
some other
wow.
comedies?
We have the classic Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, A plus.
Oh, for sure.
The movie's great.
I mean, it definitely can't be made today. It can't be remade, but I I'd go A minus just to
That is correct.
break with.
A
Oh,
minus.
nice,
Yes, A minus.
Respectable A minus. Just as
nice.
Ferris would like it. He wouldn't want an A plus.
Mhm.
Next we have the classic. I'm sure we all watch this movie all the time and quote it and share it with our friends. Short Circuit.
Oh, I love Short Circuit.
Short circuit. Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
say
something I haven't heard of.
alive.
I'm gonna say it's B plus.
No, there's no way.
And
Well,
this audience was like, the only thing that can beat this is Wally, and we don't even know what Wally is.
Wally is the the spiritual successor to Johnny Five. You know,
Um,
I'm gonna say this got a B plus.
Okay.
this if I had my way, this would be an F. I
What
Uh,
if
mean,
I told you it
just
is?
for the brown face.
Oh,
There was brownface in that.
Yeah, isn't the main dude? They dress him up as like an Indian character.
mm,
I was not aware of that. Well, that mm, that's why there are movies that can't be made today.
yeah.
Yeah, like
yes,
16
Suppose.
Candles with
definitely not
Mm.
16 Candles.
What if I
uh
told you that Short Circuit was at the same rating as Ferris Bueller?
that's insane. Get it out of here.
I want to meet this
It
test
makes
audience.
sense. No, it makes sense. Talking robots.
Yeah.
Talking
People
That'll
robots
love it.
always
were the
put people
hottest
over.
thing
Yeah.
of the early 80s.
People
I
love
cannot
it.
stop now. How about the first Marvel movie, technically, Howard the Duck?
Oh, I feel like that bombed. Give me
D
a solid B
minus.
plus. Yeah.
It is at a B minus, which is the same
That's
as
insane.
Armed and Dangerous.
What?
Wow.
Bro, what are these people?
So
What is happening?
we're looking at these movies wrong, is what you're saying. Like we're praising the wrong movies.
All right, so Howard the Duck was at a B. How about Labyrinth?
Oh,
Jim Henson, David Bowie.
I'm gonna say people seeing puppets made them cheer in the audience, just like crying with tears of joy at like A plus, A plus.
I feel like it was too ahead of its time. I don't know if
Right.
people
I
super
was
loved it.
gonna say the same thing actually. Yeah, I think it wasn't really as appreciated back then
Yeah.
like it is now.
There's never been a time where puppets were unappreciated.
I mean, I think this is like a C minus.
It
Yeah.
is at a B,
Okay.
Oh,
so it is only a smidge better than Armed and Dangerous.
Crazy. Crazy.
I have
Yes.
2 more for us.
Yes, yes, yes.
Rodney Dangerfield's Back to School.
Oh, yes. See, see, I love this movie, and if it was me, this would get an SS plus. Um, I mean, just him making that sandwich is so iconic. This movie is so stupid. C plus.
It is sitting with Ferris Bueller at an A minus.
As it should. As it should.
wow.
Oh my god, I love that movie so much.
Wow. I don't know what to say.
It's
Like
literally
I'm
such a
questioning my reality at this point.
it's just
I
such
get
a
no
nothing
respect.
burger. It's such a nothing burger movie, but it's so good. I just looked up I just looked up the stats for Back to School. It was made on a budget of 11 million. Guess how much money it made at the box office?
30 million.
No.
500 million.
I don't know if they could make that much money in the 80s.
100.
It made $91 million on
Wow.
Wow.
a comedy movie.
Wow.
That's Napoleon Dynamite levels of fame.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Napoleon Dynamite made that much money.
Well, Napoleon Dynamite was like super cheap to make and made like a ridiculous number. Like everyone got their paycheck 3 times over. And then they never made
Budget
another good movie.
with John Ader
Mm.
again. Yeah, $400,000 for Napoleon Dynamite. It was made for, and it made 46 million. So
Dang.
pretty comparable. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like I
Someone
don't.
got a raise.
That's great. Like 91 million on a comedy movie. That's insane. I feel like that's really great.
I guess he was a hot commodity in 86.
Right? I mean,
Our
he's hot.
last one. I had to pull this one up. It came up as a comedy. I wouldn't really consider it a comedy, I guess. But it came up, and it's one of the movies we've watched, Crossroads.
Oh, oh.
Okay. Okay. Well then, if we're going there,
Like a C.
I
B
think they were
minus?
expecting Karate Kid and were so disappointed. You could hear disappointment in their groans. So C minus.
Crossroads is at a B plus.
Oh,
Oh,
So it is a little better than Labyrinth.
I love it when
hey.
I'm right. I had the
So if
highest. I had the highest mark out of all of you.
I did
if
not keep score.
If I started a drive-in with Crossroads and Labyrinth, and purposely put Labyrinth as the first movie and Crossroads as the second movie, how many people would stay for the second movie?
You would
Clearly,
be selling
everyone.
gangbusters. Man, people will be parking along the road or the highway or wherever you have your drive-in just to see it.
Landing
Yeah.
planes.
They can't see the screen, but they still tune into the station just to hear it.
You have the whole front row quoting every line like they do with Monty Python. Well, was that the last movie? Are we ready to go to the score?
Yes. Yes.
All
I
right.
I threw it into the old inflation calculator. So Back to School was made for the equivalent of $32 million today, and it would have made $275 million at the box office.
Those
Like
are Star
that's
Wars numbers.
Dang.
that's great. Like if you think about
Not
it,
too
so
shabby.
one battle after another, just won an Oscar, uh, only made $209 million. So like think about that. Like a comedy movie grossed more than that. That's insane.
If
And on a
that's
smaller
on
budget.
Tubi, I'm picking that next time.
Take notes, Paul Thomas Anderson.
All right, so let's talk about the movie that made 15 million on a
I
$12
want to.
million
I
budget.
just want to talk about Back to School. I don't.
This is now a podcast only about back to school.
Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, our traditional find one thing that this movie genuinely did well and praise it. I mean, I'll go first. The person in charge of Eugene Levy's lines nailed it. At least the first 15 minutes, it showed so much promise. I was ready to say, Adam, like that everyone's movie has to be a John Candy movie where he's holding a gun. Because this is great. And I think it's because Eugene did such a great job in the beginning of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
All right, who's next?
I guess I feel like it's gotta be me. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed um that they shot it on location. It felt like they did a good job of capturing the vibe and the grime of 1980s LA. I feel like they nailed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The beginning parts were very Maxine. It was like
Yeah.
we're down and dirty on the streets.
Kind of like
Yeah,
how the other movie we reviewed, Time After Time, nailed the
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Mm.
The
Yeah,
boredom of LA.
right. I feel like even just like the like the B roll of like them of
Yeah.
John just like driving through LA, it just felt good.
Yes.
Whereas like you watch like a Marvel movie and they're supposed to be in New York City and it just feels soulless. Like
Yes.
it felt like, oh hey, like this feels like a city.
Feels
That's
lived
real.
in.
Yeah.
Actually, that toxic dump.
Yeah, the Taku Dump did it.
Yeah.
You can almost smell the realism.
Smell-o-vision.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say, I feel like God, I had one thing I wanted to praise about it, but now I'm not so sure.
Uh-oh.
I'm not so sure because
Uh-oh.
I wanted to praise the writing, but see this movie, unfortunately, I think it fell to the peril of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because yes, Harold Ramis may have written, at least a sizable chunk of it, but there were 3 other writers on this screenplay. So things were going to get diluted. Context may have been lost, things were compromised. So, I mean, I guess I would just have to give it to the dynamic of, Candy and Levy, the 2 of them just, riffing off of each other when they could. I mean, it was like, no, I wouldn't say turning straw into gold, but, straw into some kind of semi-precious metal. Copper, maybe. Perhaps brass. Well, that's desirable, right?
I agree with that. That's probably where a lot of its problems do come from. Is just too many people trying to do what they want with it, and it has no clear direction.
Yeah, like when the goal is to just write a movie, give it a beginning, a middle, and an end, just get it on film, get it to theaters, get butts and seats, and get that money. Then yeah, a lot of the art gets lost in it that way.
Yeah. The highlight for me was the opening scene. That set the bar really high for me. I thought it was hilarious because he just, drives up to this crying little girl and she's like, "My cat's in the tree." And he's like, "I'm sure it'll be fine."
Yeah. She'll come back down.
She'll come down. Yeah. And she just looks at him. And he's like, "Okay, fine." And he climbs up there and the cat's climbing all over him and he gets stuck. And then it just cuts to the fire department. And then it cuts to like the opening credits and there's a 80s song with the title of the movie in it playing. And I was like, okay, like I'm locked in, like this is gonna be hilarious. And then it just like kept getting less and less funny. And like I feel like it would have been funnier if they just stuck with that concept of just John Candy being like kind of a not so effective cop and not done the whole we're security guards and we're stopping the assassination. Like that was just unnecessary and messy.
Right.
So, yeah.
You wanted him to Chris Farley it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or to Paul Blart it up.
Yeah.
Kevin James.
Yeah.
Blart it up.
Yeah.
This brings us to our recommendation score. Is this to be the greatest? To be enjoyed? To be experienced? Or to be avoided or tolerated?
Ooh.
Adam, I feel like you're going to have the most positive review.
Yeah, I mean, I think my score will be heavily caveated. I enjoy just random 80s comedy movies, regardless of how good or how bad they are. So I would say for me, this is is there a to be watched? I don't, to be enjoyed, I feel like is to be experienced, I feel like is what I would say. But only if you like 80s movies and you enjoy John Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's what drew me in the first place. And I feel like it's 88 minutes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. If it was like, over 95 minutes, I'd be like, maybe not. But yeah, to be experienced.
I would have to just go ahead and concur with Adam on that. I mean, most John Candy movies are kind of, it's like the equivalent of getting just a regular burger and fries. It's not a a Whopper from Big Mac. It's not a Whopper from Burger King. Gosh, I'm mixing up my fast food.
A Whopper.
I'm
and a Big
tired.
Mac, now you're talking.
Or a Big Mac from McDonald's. Come on, I'm tired. Give me a break. We've been talking about John Candy for over an hour. This might be too long for anyone to be talking about John Candy. But it's a comfort movie. That's the way I see it. If you've got an afternoon to kill and this happens to come on, you have, a spot in your heart for those 80s funny buddy films, then yeah, put Armed and Dangerous on. It won't let you down.
Yeah.
Well, I have to provide the downer and say it's just a to be tolerated for me. It wasn't like throw the remote at the TV cringe, but like I was like a lot of the jokes just kind of like they just kind of fell flat, and it's like that didn't work for me. And I was hoping for Uncle Buck, I was hoping for Police Academy, and instead I got Beverly Hills Ninja. And I saw it, I tolerated it, probably won't see it again. So I like the premise.
You know what? Fair.
Respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be the second downer. I'm going to say To Be Forgotten. There was nothing here that I'm really going to ever think about again, and it's not remarkable or funny enough to, tell someone to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's very, very, very far down the list of you're like John Candy movies. You're like, yeah, Uncle Buck, great in Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, Spaceballs. You may even think of him in like Cool Runnings. What do you think?
Yes.
Heck, even The Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think history is on your side.
Well, I think you have it, folks. This movie gets a solid meh, with a few guffaws. Well, Ivy. Well, first of all, Adam, thank you so much for
yes.
taking
Yes.
a chance. Maybe one day we'll see Undercover Grandpa.
We can
Who
hope.
knows? Ivy, your episode's gonna run around close to April Fool's Day.
Oh, again.
Yeah. So, dig into those World War II movies and your dad's VHS closet.
Yeah. I gotta find something nobody's ever heard of.
All right. 2 weeks. Give some change. We'll be back with another movie. Who knows what famous star's going to be in it? We just know it's worthy of Tubi. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us, and have a great night.
Deuces.
Bye.
Mike watches movies that are low on the charts. Adam picks the ones that inspire the arts. Ivy has a brand that has monsters, wolves, and dogs. And Vin tries to pick a movie that isn't a total slog. So don't